All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm super excited to have Natalie on the line tonight. She has her team as well. So I hope that we can, bounce each other's ideas off of each other. And so I want to jump right ahead and first ask you, Natalie. So how did you find out about It Works? Like, what's your story?
Okay, well, thank you for having me on. It's crazy. I don't know if you told your team or not, but Antoinette and I met a couple weeks ago, and I had no idea that we lived like literally 5 miles away from each other. And here, I'm Triple Diamond, and you are double. Is that right? Okay. So yeah, so we live like literally a few miles from each other and had no idea, which is crazy. And it just goes to show people say, oh, this business is saturated or the company's saturated or whatever. And nope, not at all. Not at all true. So my story I'll try to keep it a little short. Basically, I was kind of found on Instagram. But let's see, let me go back a little bit. Okay, so my husband and my fiance at the time, we were really, really, really struggling. And I mean, like living below paycheck to paycheck, basically. But so at the time, I only used Instagram for like pictures of my daughter. I had no idea that people were using it for like business purposes whatsoever. But somebody randomly commented on one of my pictures one day, and I was like, who is this crazy lady commenting on one of my photos? So um, I don't know. I guess I went back later in the day and I looked at her profile and I saw that she worked from home, and I thought, like, that can't be true, right? Like, she cannot be making a more than full-time income working from home. So I like investigated more, and I decided to message her, and I saw her posting about these wraps. I didn't know what they were. I thought it was some kind of food she was talking about. I had no idea. And so I messaged her. But right before that, I mean, we had hit rock bottom. So um, I had basically been like, I was at rock bottom. I was depressed. I was anxious. We were trying to support our 1 year, pay for everything that we needed to for our 1 year old. Um, rent is expensive where we live. So we were just struggling so hard. And I had been praying. One night I remember literally like dropping down on my knees in our bedroom floor, like after I put my daughter to bed, because I was so stressed out, and I was just praying for an answer. I was like, I don't care what it is anymore. I don't care what path I'm supposed to take. Whatever it is that's going to help us not struggle, I want that path to be shown to me, and I will go for it. Um, and so I had done everything before this. I had done every job possible. I got my real estate license, but I just never felt like anything was meant for me, I guess. And it just, no matter what I did, we were still struggling. And my fiance was working 2 full-time jobs. Um, so we were basically just passing each other, and we had a new baby. So it was really difficult. So when this opportunity kind of presented itself, I kind of brushed it off because I thought, man, one, I had no like belief that I could actually do this because I'm not a salesperson. I am, I don't know if I'm shy, but I'm kind of introverted. So like I don't go out and socialize. I'm not super social. I don't have tons of friends. So I just had so many hesitations with it, and I didn't have that self-belief. So um, I decided to actually mention it to my fiance just to see what he would say. And he was like, well, why don't you do it? And I'm like, because I would suck. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know, I'm not a salesperson. But I decided to go for it because I felt like something was pulling me in that direction. And so it took me like 30 days before I joined. And I asked my enroller like a bazillion questions. She probably thought I was insane. Who knows? And I jumped in, and I just went all in. I had no idea what I was doing, but I just felt like this was it. So I guess that's the beginning story. Did you want me to go further?
Well, I know we were going to ask you about how you got to Triple. So I guess the next question just will be, what does a day in the life of Natalie look like? And then the next question we'll talk about like how you pretty much progressed in the business.
Okay, so I work my business, I'd say 97% on social media. I use Instagram and Facebook. I work from home, obviously, and my fiance, I retired, so he's home with me. And geez, what does a day in the life look like? What do you want me to go into, like what my daily tasks are and that kind of stuff? Okay.
Yeah, like your task, just how you work your business while being at home and stuff.
Okay. I'm not a super scheduled person, but I do have like a list of things that I do every day. And I look at it kind of like, I guess a 6 list, if you've heard of that before. But I make sure that I do at least these specific things daily, because it is, this is life, and we all have different schedules. We all have different jobs. We all have different family situations. Everything is different, but what stays the same is what we need to do for our business. So when I wake up in the morning, I usually do a little bit of work before my kids get out of bed, whether it's just checking my messages and accepting follow requests. And then I just kind of let this business fit into my day. So if I have time, everybody says, or not everybody, but some people say, I don't have time for this, or how am I going to do this? I'm already so busy. And the thing is, we make time for it so that later on we don't have to be this busy, and we can have more options and more freedom. So I work on Instagram and Facebook. Usually I'll make a morning post. Like I said, I check my messages. I'll go in and I'll follow people every morning, because building our network is such a big part. And I find that it's one of the biggest parts of our business. So I usually add anywhere from 100 to 200 people a day on Instagram. And then I try to make at least 5 to 10 new friends on Facebook. So adding new people, checking messages. What else do I do? Posting. I used to post 12 times a day, and the business has changed a lot. So we don't need to be posting every single hour anymore. It's not so time consuming with those kinds of things. It's more quality over quantity. So I put intention behind my posts. I post me using the products. I post usually at least about how this business is changing my life. Look at this, you guys. I have hives. So if someone in this and they think they because they have like anxiety, you definitely can see that I get the worst hives whenever I go and talk to people. And if I can do this, you can do this. So, okay. So I post probably anywhere between 4 to 6 times a day. And everybody has kind of their own different rules about what they post in the algorithm, but that seems to work best for me. And I usually post my own kind of product picture. So it's me using the product. Maybe it's my own results or something like that. People like to see us using the products too, rather than just somebody else all the time. So I think that our own testimonies can move our business the furthest. And I love our products anyway. So keto coffee is like my thing. I can't not post about it every single day. I also reach out to people. So I make sure that I'm reaching out and messaging people that like my posts, because in the beginning of my business, I worked solely through just like waiting for people to come and contact or to come and reach out to me. And that can work for some people. And that's how I built my business all the way to Triple. But at some point I realized that posting was not asking. And so I've kind of molded my business into a lot of different things, but I now reach out to people because I think about all the people that I missed out on for the last 2.5 years, not reaching out to them. I mean, sometimes people, are afraid to reach out to us or whatever. And it's amazing. So I've been messaging my likers and getting a lot of business that way. So I make sure I do that every single day. I will message people that have liked my posts. from the day before if I didn't do it the same exact day. Let's see what else. I guess that's kind of it's hard to go through a day in the life of me, but I just work it around my family and my kids. And you know, if I go out, I blitz every single person that I come in contact with. That, like, if I exchange money, this is kind of my rule. If I exchange money with somebody, they're gonna get a blitz card from me. It's easier for me than just going up to some random person and starting a conversation. And I'm not huge with blitzing, but I figure this is what I teach my team too, is like, you can be amazing at social media, or you can be amazing at in-home parties, but you can also be good at everything else if you just try. You know, you have to be consistent with it. So why not work Instagram and Facebook? Why not try blitzing? You know, you're out doing those things anyway. So as many leads as I can get, that's kind of what I'm doing. So let's see. I think that's about it. I do post like an opportunity kind of post every single day, because I think that people need to see how this business is changing our life. Whether you have already, maybe you've made your first promotion, maybe you haven't, maybe you're Ruby. I mean, it doesn't matter what rank you are. People need to see what's possible, and we kind of have to create that vision for others, whether it's sharing you know, the friendships that you've made, or, you know, what your goals are for the future. All of those things, you need to paint a picture for people. So every single day I'm sharing with people what this business is doing. And you know, a lot of times people will say, well, I'm not making a ton of money, so what am I supposed to be doing? Or, you know, how do I make people see this? And I can tell you, you know, people joined my team when I was making $30, the same the same way they did now, you know, being Triple Diamond. It's not, people don't join this because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be Triple Diamond. They join it for an extra $100 or an extra $200. So show them those things, your bag of groceries, whatever it is. I guess that's kind of it. I'm kind of a rambler. I'm so sorry. I'll keep going and going and going. You don't stop me.
You're fine. I do have a question. So you said that your husband is retired. So is he working the business with you, or how is that like working?
Yeah. He, you know, the business is my baby. However, he does help me with it. I have kind of trained my husband to follow for me. So so he, like, every single night, I usually end up in bed a little sooner than he does. And every single night he will follow for me. So it's been a huge help because, you know, that's something we have to do consistently every single day. And I do it throughout the day, but sometimes my focus is elsewhere. So it's great to have him be able to do that for me. And he feels like he's adding to our business. I mean, we've signed people off of follows he's brought in and all that. So I haven't gotten him into like messaging for me or anything like that, but it has been a huge help. He's been doing that for at least a year and a half, I think.
And then I do have one more question about that too. It just went away. So let me read what Kayla was saying, because the baby crying, I'm trying to focus. Okay, so yeah, Kayla was saying you trained him on how to follow. If I need to implement this training, yes, definitely. Okay, so when you were saying that, you know, you message and you blitz and things like that. So is that pretty much like, because the next question was just going to be consistency. How have you been so consistent with your business, mommyhood? But, you know, you kind of answered that with saying, you know, your husband is helping you and you know, you're doing that. But on your journey to triple, like, how did you build your business? Like, I know you said online, but how did you do it? You know what I mean when I say that?
Yes. So, okay. So I guess I'll give you the story of how my story kind of went with it. So I joined May 31st of 2014. It's been so long already. I can't believe it. Like, I've never been one to stick with anything, so it's kind of crazy. But so May 31st, 2014, I went Ruby in October. So it took me a few months before hitting Ruby. I think like five months or so. And then I kind of stuck there, and I kind of had no idea what I was doing. I knew I needed to do my steps to success. So I was working. Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was working really hard. And I still work my business really hard. And I think that sometimes it gets misconstrued and people think, oh, well, I can kind of pop into my business here and there and it'll build, but it is that consistency. And I can tell you that was one of my strongest traits with my business, was just being consistent, posting every single day. I got married in June of 2016, and I posted for my business on my wedding day. Like, I am super serious. There has not been a day that I haven't posted. So I went Ruby in October, and then I kind of stuck there for a little bit. And then this magical time that we're in right now happened. So I had been planting seeds, posting, being super, super consistent. And then January came, and I had a girl on my team that kind of like, she said she was ready. And so I was like, yes, like, let's do this together. And I don't know if you guys, if you're newer, or if you've been in a while and you've heard this motto that they used to use. They don't use it so much anymore, but they always said it starts with one. And that means a lot of different things, but it starts with one. Like, so if you just have one teammate, if you have one person that's excited to do this with you, if you have, your first customer, everything in this starts with one. So this girl was ready, and I was ready, and we hit that time in January where things started getting really exciting. In February, I went Emerald. That was 2015. The next month I went Diamond, and then the next month I went Double Diamond. So you can see, from the time I started in the middle of the year before, I was planting seeds like crazy. But if I hadn't been so consistent, when that busy time came, I wouldn't have had all these leads to go back and message and follow up with. And I wouldn't have had people that were watching me all this time that were ready to get started. So, and I had no idea this time was so vital to my business. I was just doing, trying to complete my steps of success each month, and doing so, momentum. And that busy time came, and it was, the excitement and the promotions and the growth just happens because people have been watching you, and they're finally ready to jump on board. So I just kind of ran with that momentum, and I worked consistently every single day. I put my goals out in front of me. I still have the papers they're still actually on my fridge, but I wrote like Diamond, what was it? March 2015, Double Diamond, April 2015. And I just put my blinders on. I focused solely on my business. I didn't look at what this leader was doing and how this person might be doing better than me. I wasn't comparing myself. I looked at where I needed to go, and I stuck to that road. So really it was that commitment and that mindset. And I think that our mindset is at least 50% of this business. If your mind isn't in the right place, and you're all over the place kind of, or you're thinking I can't do it, or you're looking left and right, it's going to be so much harder. So I was just so super focused. And then, so I hit Double, and a year later I hit Triple Diamond. And it's been an incredible journey. I've learned a whole lot. But I guess the best thing I can say is that the way that I got to Triple Diamond was completing my steps to success. And I know it sounds so silly or so simple, but I watched these leaders' videos when I first started. I would pour into YouTube like crazy. And when I started, there wasn't a ton of training out there. Like, you guys are so lucky now for what is out there, because when I started, like, literally there was like 3 videos on YouTube about how to work Instagram. There was nothing. It was like fly by the seat of your pants, trial and error. I mean, I look back, Antoinette, I don't know if you see this on yours, but like my time hop, or like my on this day memories, it'll show me my first posts still. And I'm like, oh my God, what was I doing? They're so bad. But, it was a learning lesson, and it's something we all go through to get better. So, yeah, I just poured into watching everything that I could watch, learning everything I could learn, doing it on my own. I didn't go to my enroller first. I tried to figure things out on my own because I knew I would learn them much deeper, I guess, that way. Um, and I just moved. I just took action every single day. And I talked with my teammates. I was really connected with my team the whole time.
Yeah, I'm glad that you hit up on the, that you were just building with your steps to success. And then I also like that you said that you just had that one person and they can just help ignite you, because that's literally how it is. It's finding that one person or two or three or however many it takes.
Yeah.
But just finding that person and really just running with you. Okay, so my next question is, which I feel like you kind of answered this too, but let's just say, for example, instead of saying how do you build your business successfully, how do you get loyal customers? Like, I know you post, you using the products and things like that, but I do see you always post like, I just got, someone to purchase this or that, and I'm like, okay, I need to see, how, you pretty much just stay consistent with getting those customers. So
Yeah.
what is like the lingo you say to them and things like that?
Okay. So, I mean, it's changed over the years. Different methods that work better, or that work, that used to work that don't work as much anymore. But I think it's, again, I know it's just what we say, but it's that consistency. So you've got to be sharing your own results. And even I'm guilty of it. Sometimes I'm like, man, I'm not even using my products this week very well. Like, but sharing your personal results is key. So getting that in front of people consistently is the first part, because you're planting those seeds and you're showing it to them. I also like to do, I don't know if you guys have heard of this or if you do it yourselves, but I think it's kind of like called campaigning. So I will share the same product for a couple days back to back. Like, I might do keto coffee for like 3 or 4 days. I try not to go like, okay, now here's skin and nails, now greens, now fat fighters, now this, now that, because um, people kind of have to see things multiple times before they're like, oh, maybe I should try this. And if they're just bombarded with products constantly, it's hard for them to get that like feeling of maybe I should try this. So, and plus people aren't on social media all the time like a lot of us are. So they might be missing what you're posting. Um, and so, if you post about keto coffee once a week, that's not really enough to intrigue them, I guess. So I will go like on a product campaign and I'll post for a couple days, and then I'll switch it up and do a new product. And I think that gives people time to gain interest. Just like when you see a commercial on TV and you might think nothing of it the first time, and then you see it again and again and again, and eventually you might order something or go out and buy it. So that's helped a lot. Um, so posting that, and then what else do I do? The other biggest part is your network. You guys, if you are noticing that you're not getting a lot of interest, as far as product, potential loyal customers or even potential distributors, it might be because you're not consistently growing your network, and you need to have new eyes on your posts constantly. It pains me when somebody's got like 150 Facebook friends and they're working consistently and posting every day, but it's the same people seeing it, and those people might not be interested, or maybe they're not interested right now. So you need those fresh eyes, or you're not going to have new leads consistently. Another thing that I've been doing is I've been doing host to posts. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that, but it's brand new to me. I've heard of others doing it, but I basically have been asking people to put a status update on their wall. Something like, my friend Natalie is looking for 5 people to that want to grow out their hair. Something super simple like that. And what that does is, and I offer those people free product, and you don't have to offer them tons of product. I only give the person that posted free product if 2 people order, or if 4 people order, which has not happened yet. I'm like praying that happens one day. But if 4 people ordered off of that post, then I would send them a full product. But it's totally up to you. It could be like green samples. It could be, wow. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to break the bank doing that. But that's been great because what that does is it taps into somebody's, maybe that person that posted for you has 5,000 Facebook friends. So that just gave your whole, like, you had access to that whole network. It's amazing. So that's been helping me. And then as far as, do you want me to go into like how I talk to potentials?
I mean, I guess you can just kind of say like, when you do talk to them and they're about to order, like, do you say, a challenge? Like, what is like that keyword that you think that really gets them to sign up? Like, do you make them go to your website or do you sign them up? Just how do you?
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. So I guess it depends on, what kind of post they had commented on or whatever. Typically I like to say, I don't really call it the loyal customer program. And I never have, just because the word loyal in itself kind of terrifies people. They're like, what am I committing to? Like, how are you trying to scam me? Whatever. So I like to say 90-day challenge. I've also been saying 90-day makeover. I think that's a great one. Um, let's see what else. I use a lot of different terms. I kind of just switch it up um, depending on what the post was, but I explain the difference in pricing as well. So, and that's something that's never changed. So if somebody is interested in the hair, skin, and nails, I'll tell them it's $55 full price. But if they do the 90-day challenge that I have, the 90-day challenge spot that I have open, that it would be just 33. And I leave it at that. And they always come back and say, oh, okay, so what's the 90-day challenge? And then I can tell them, if they order this month, they order one product in January and one product in February, and they get my discounted pricing in return. And I tell them that they get a bunch of freebies and I get to spoil them with goodies, because they don't even necessarily need to know what those perks are, about 10% back in perk points and whatnot, but they feel special. And like, they're like, man, I get this 40% discount for life and I get, all these other perks. So I just spice it up like that. And as far as the process goes, so then I would tell them the details, and then I always end with a question. So I say, how does that sound? And then they say either they ignore you for a while, because that happens sometimes, or they say it sounds great. And so I say, are your billing and shipping address the same? And they tell me that, and I say, okay, would you like me to walk you through the process on your end, or do you want me to take your information and I can do the order for you? And then I say, whichever works best for you. Because that way, and I spent the first, let's see, I spent the first at least year of my business never taking somebody's information, because I was like, they're not going to give me their info. Like, they're going to think I'm crazy. Like, but it has been huge for my business as far as enrolling. A lot of people, they want you to do it for them. So that's been really great. They just give me their info. I put the order in. It's awesome. And I think that part of it shows, like, that part of it is going to work for you if you're being consistent. And that consistency in working your business and posting every day is actually building trust. So if somebody is willing to give you their info, you kind of know that you've been doing your job well, and that you've been, kind of in their face, posting consistently. They know you're a real person. They feel comfortable with you. And you'd be amazed at how many people are willing to do that. And I don't know. I think it's really upped my ability to enroll. So.
Yeah, I like that you said that, when you're consistently posting and they're kind of getting that trust. Because over the weekend, I had got a customer and she was like, oh, I trust you. When I asked her about the card information, I'm like, I don't even know you. Okay, if you trust me.
Yeah.
And so I really like that you said that. So the last question really was just, can you share 3 tips with us? And then after, we'll open it up to any questions, because I do have a couple questions in my chat from a couple people.
Okay.
So, so if you just have 3 simple tips that you feel like either help your business or you feel like can help us, whatever you want.
Okay. So let's see. I guess one of the biggest thing would be kind of sharing your story and figuring out what your story is, because a lot of people in the beginning, they're like, man, I don't have a story, or I don't have a story that's as incredible as hers, or whatnot. And the thing about it is everybody has a story. And if you're not figuring out why you're doing this, like you haven't dug deep enough in to see what, what is the reason I'm doing this business? What do I want out of this? And have it really mean something to you, it's going to be a lot harder to stay consistent and to be I don't like to say motivated, because motivation is kind of fleeting. We do things because we create discipline. So it's going to be hard to be disciplined in your business, day in and day out, if you don't have that strong reason for doing this business defined, like all out in front of you. And then that connects into your story. So your story is something that needs to be shared every single day, because the more real you can be with people on social media, the more they feel like they can like and know you, or know, like, and trust you. Those are kind of the three things. The more successful you'll be with gaining potential distributors and having people want to see, like, follow your journey. This is your story. It's not just about posting about products. It's not just about, a number or filling a box or any of that. It's about your story. So it's your brand. You are your brand. So find out what your story is. What is it that you want out of this? Where are you going? Where were you at? And share that with people every single day. So that would be the first thing. I think that has been what has helped me grow and gain momentum in this, was just being me and being real. Let's see, 2 other tips. Don't get lazy. Okay. And I mean that coming from my own personal experience. I can tell you, I had a dry spell in my business one time, because I was like, I started out on Instagram, and I had like $3,500 followers. I got up there, and then I got to 4,500, and I was doing my steps of success every month, and I was gaining people off Instagram. And then I was like, I'm good. I don't need to follow anymore. I don't need to follow daily. I don't need to grow people or grow my network. And slowly, it wasn't like it happened overnight, but slowly my leads started declining. And I was like, what's wrong with me? Instagram's broken. The business doesn't work. The company is bad. Like, all these things went through my head. And then I realized, no, Natalie, you stopped growing your network. So you had no leads. It's plain and simple. You posted all day long, but it didn't matter because you weren't growing your network. And this is network marketing. And these are kind of things people don't, you don't know when you get into this. You don't really know what you're doing. Most of us don't know what we're doing. So don't stop doing the things that have worked for you. I think that's the biggest thing, because it will bite you and you'll be like, what's happening? And then tip number 3, get out of your comfort zone, because nothing good is going to come out of staying where you're at. You have to push past it. I mean, I can tell you, I've done so many things in this business I never thought that I'd be capable of. I've done things that scare me. I've done things that push me and grow me. But if you don't get out of that comfort zone and you don't push yourself harder, you're not going to get to where you want to be. I kind of teach my team this too, about, if you want a triple diamond paycheck or a presidential paycheck or a diamond paycheck, whatever it is that you want, if you want that paycheck, you have to work like you're already that kind of a leader. So work like a diamond leader. Do you feel like you're working like that? And if you don't, then you need to step it up. And it's kind of point blank, but it's true. You have to step into those shoes, and you have to be willing to push past your comfort zone and just, go for it.
I like that. I definitely like that. And that's funny. So funny that it's like, once you just said that, it just clicked with me. I've been on this huge follow game, I guess I could say, in my mind. And I'm like, I started at like almost 5,000 just December 1st, and now I'm almost to 6,000. So I've been following my butt off, and I've noticed like I got like 6 customers last week, and they were
Yeah.
just what, you know. So I noticed that once you, like you said, network. This is network marketing, so clearly that has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I guess, do we have any questions for Natalie? And I know we had a question from Alyssa. Well, I know, okay, so Alyssa asked, can you ask, what does she do for people that don't respond, that likes her posts?
Okay, so, well, I guess it depends, you know. So somebody that I've messaged and then they don't respond.
Yeah, that's what I guess that's what she's saying. Yeah, if you've messaged them after they've liked your post and they don't respond.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's just case by case. The thing is, I think that this is the hardest thing that we have, or that it's a hard thing to comprehend, and nobody tells us this either. And I kind of didn't even get it into my head until like 2 years into this business, that when you message somebody, we're not messaging for like an instant gratification enrollment. When you message, it's a seed that's planted. So, and I would always take things so personally, you guys. Like, I would get so offended. I have had many times where I would cry. I'm like, this person is not responding. I remember one instance where somebody was supposed to sign up and she vanished, and I was like, you know, she's not going to sign up. Like, and I just went into this spiral of negativity. And then my husband was like, maybe she's just cooking dinner or something, right? Like, calm down. It's okay. And so, it was like an hour later and she's like, hey, I'm back. I was giving my baby a bath. And I'm like, why did I freak out about that? So, and that was a quicker example, like where she came back. But sometimes people, that you initially message or talk to, they might not order for 6 months, or they might not order for 3 weeks or a year. I've had people that have ordered 2 years later, like literally didn't talk to them for 2 years and then they ordered. So if they don't respond, I just kind of pay attention. You know, if they continue to like my posts, I'm going to follow up and say, hey, you know, I don't know if you were interested, but I saw that you had liked this again, and I just wanted to offer you this amazing discount. Whatever it is, you can follow up with those people. They're not no's, they're just not right now. So don't think that they're ignoring social media. So people don't feel like they need to respond right away.
Right. And I was looking because I used to have a little script that I used to say if someone didn't reply in a while. It was like, sorry, did I offend you?
Yeah. And I think it depends on your personality. I've tried that. And some people will be even humorous and they'll send like a GIF, like some kind of funny GIF, like in there. I haven't been like brave enough to do that yet, but I have used the, you know, I'm sorry if I offended you, or did I say something wrong? I've used that before. It has gotten people's attention. But you know, sometimes there are those people that are just going to come around when they're going to come around. So use those people as leads, you know, write their names down, keep track of every single lead, because eventually most people are going to order or they're going to sign up if you're consistent. So
Yes, that's true. Did anybody else have any questions? I do have a question I think that some would actually ask. So, when did you sign your husband up? Like when you joined the business? Like, did you do it ASAP or after you went diamond, or how did you do that?
okay, so, and I'm going to share this too. I don't know, well, I don't know what page that was on, but there was a leader page that actually asked about this question too, and I thought it was really interesting. And these were all, I guess they were all triple and up people, and they asked, you know, if you could do this over again, would you sign your spouse up right away, or would you wait, or whatever? And 99% of the people said they would sign their spouse up right away, which was interesting. So I signed my husband up, I think it was like day 35 into my business, because again, I was like YouTube crazy. Like that's where I learned a whole lot about my business. And so a lot of other people said, sign them up because it's going to create a second paycheck for you. So I signed him up. We were broke, you guys, too. Like I had to push back paying a utility bill just to sign myself up. So it wasn't an easy commitment for me to sign him up. I'm like, where am I going to get this $100? I can't even pay my bills. But for me, I knew it was going to get us a second paycheck. I knew I was going to have control over that part of my chart, which was going to be awesome for promotion. And then I also knew that signing him up was going to push me harder because at the time they had, I think it was 120 product credit when I signed up. So if you got your 4 customers, you got 120 product credit. And of course you needed to get fast start qualified. So I was like, if I sign him up, I better find some customers because I'm not going to let this $100 go to waste. So I knew it was going to push me. And I did that. And I think not only did it push me in that way, but it took my business to like a different level of seriousness. I don't know what it was, but it's like I was fully committed. My husband signed up. I'm trying to build 2 paychecks. It really, really helped my mindset having him sign up.
Yeah, I've definitely heard a lot of people have mixed emotions. I ended up actually signing my husband up after I went diamond. So yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. It's a personal decision. My husband was my diamond for what was he? When I went triple, he was one of my diamonds. So but it's an awesome thing to have. A lot of companies don't even allow you to sign your spouse up. So most companies I don't think do. So it's really awesome.
Yeah, it definitely is. And like you said, it's a second paycheck. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, John can be home because of this business and he's not even technically like working that part, so it is.
Right. And then, because how many bonuses did you guys earn?
We earned, I think it was 105,000. So, I mean, and you guys, like my biggest paycheck for a whole month ever when I thought I was making really good money was like, I think it was like 1,900 and that was before taxes. So, I mean, we were on food stamps. We were on government or, food stamps. We had, government insurance. I felt like I was a failure at everything that I'd ever tried, really. I felt like kind of the black sheep of my family. Like everybody was just moving past me and I never felt good at anything. And, without this business, I don't know where we would be. I really don't. I mean, it saved us and it can do that for anybody, but you have to be committed and you have to say, I'm going to do this no matter what. I'm not going to make excuses. There were times where, I got pregnant 3 months after I started this business with my second baby. And so I was exhausted. And at that point, I hadn't even reached Ruby. I think I promoted to Ruby right after I got pregnant. I was exhausted. I was terribly nauseous with him every single day. And I had a 2.5-year-old at home. My husband was still working, so it was just me. And I promoted from Ruby to double diamond while I was pregnant, like promoted to double right before I gave birth to him because I told myself, we couldn't even have a second baby because we couldn't afford to have him. And when we got pregnant, I was like, this is it. Like, if I don't grow my income, then we're not going to be able to afford a second baby. And he's already on the way. So I told myself I needed diamond before he came. And I reached that and I went to double. And he was he and my daughter, they were my reason and they're still my reason. And I can't look at their faces, and say to them, no, you're not, I can't do this. I can't do this. Or you're not important enough to me. Like there isn't anything that I won't do for them. And I think that having that strong committed why is why I've been able to get where where I was, because it's not always easy. It's not always going to be peaches and cream. I mean, it's hard, it's work, but it's so worth it. And if you're committed, you can reach any goal in this business. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling again, but I just.
No, you're fine. Look, you sitting here got me about to tear up because I'm like, yes, like if they said if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. So I mean, just seeing your passion is just like, yeah, like that's why I truly love this business, just because of that. Like it really opens up a lot of doors because I mean, our stories are pretty much similar too. So, because yeah, I actually I went double in March, and I just found out I was pregnant in February. So March, I was like back and forth sick. So I don't know how it even happened, but yeah. It's definitely a lifesaver.
Yeah, it's that like that gut feeling, that feeling in your heart, like you're like, oh, okay, like I have to make this happen. Like there's no way it's not going to happen. And when you're focused and you have that reason, like you can do it. It's just amazing. It's just like I don't even have words for it. You know how that feels. Like it's just, and you'll do anything for your babies. Like, I mean, before I had kids, I feel like I kind of settled and I was comfortable because I didn't have to push for anybody else. And when I had my daughter, and I just couldn't sit back and have a struggle anymore. And, there's no other way in this world that I would ever be able to bring in the kind of income we bring in, doing anything else, and absolutely not doing it sitting home with my babies. So.
That's true. That is very true. So did anybody else have any other questions before we let it go? 10 minutes to 9:30. We've been doing good. Let me read the comments. Me and my husband want another child as well, but we can't afford 2 kids in daycare right now, so I know this feeling. Yeah, oh my God, daycare, those prices.
Yeah.
Crystal said, Natalie, don't make me cry. That this business is truly a blessing. I love it. Step into those shoes. Yeah, if nobody has any other questions, then oh, hold on. Caroline said she said, since she works from home, I want to know how she gets creative with her product posts. I'm running out of ideas sitting in the house all day. Oh, I understand that too. But see, and you can take nice pictures, and I'm just like, look, when I wake up in the morning, I do not look nothing like how you look.
It's really about creativity. Like even like selfies. I don't know if you guys do this. I did not used to do this, but if I have a day where I like, for some reason have extra time and I do my hair, I will seriously like take product pictures, like, and I will change my shirt and I will take more pictures, and then like maybe like change my hair a little bit and take more pictures, and I will just hoard those pictures on my phone and use them for later dates, because and a lot of, if you work full time, it's extremely helpful. But even working at home, this is a full-time job. Like being a mom, trying to keep up with your house, like if you could see how messy my room is in front of me, you would be hysterically laughing, because there are things that don't get done, but that's okay. Like those are the sacrifices that we make. Like when it comes to promotion time, I tell my husband, I'm like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to do a lot more than you've been doing, like in a nice way. I mean, he's amazing. He does all the dishes, like he does so much, but he knows that this is go time, and I'm sorry, but I'm going to be really busy and really focused on this promotion, because it's for us, it's for my family, it's for my team. So there are things that don't happen. Like the pile of laundry downstairs is clean, but it's not folded. So I wish I was better at those things, but there are some things I'm really great at, which is this business, because I put my effort there. And then there are things that, don't get done, like my laundry or cleaning my bathroom floor, but the thing about the product. So, well, I kind of did, but, I think I think it's just changing it up. It's just trying to be creative with your photos. Like, one of the tricks that I do, like, and I know other people do this too. Like, if you don't have great countertops, like I don't even have granite countertops or anything, but like I'll just use like different cloth, like tablecloths or like placemats. Like, you just get creative. Like, I literally went out and bought a piece of marble before, like, a long time ago. I bought a piece of marble so I could like take product pictures on it. Like, you just have to use your imagination and get creative. And it's okay if you kind of recycle the same ideas. I mean, this business is about consistency. I mean, nobody's going to be like, oh my gosh, she took a picture similar to that before, you know? So just do it, just be creative and use other people as inspiration. Don't copy them, but, find somebody that you connect with, other leaders that you connect with and that you get inspiration from, and use that. And I guess that's the best tip that I have. But sometimes we look like we rolled out of bed, and that's okay to post a picture like that every once in a while too, because it shows the real side. But take those selfie pictures when you have some extra time too.
Yeah, because I'll be getting my hair done tomorrow, so I'll definitely be doing that tomorrow for sure. Definitely taking a million pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said that makes perfect sense. My overthinking game is too strong.
That's something that I have struggled with in my business. And when I have a teammate that also does that, it's like I can focus in on it instantly because it's one of the things that I do. That should have been a tip too, is that I think we often overthink all aspects of this business. We think we need like the secret ingredient and the secret, script and the secret recipe and the secret this. And it's really just about thinking less and doing more,
And Brianna said, I used to think I wanted to continue to work full time and work this business, but while at work the other day, I was in the bathroom and realized that working for someone else's dream would not suffice for me. Being a stay-at-home mom, what advice could you give me about quitting my job when I reach a higher level and it works?
So one thing I would say that other people have said, before you quit your job, they say that you should have, I think it's 6 months of savings saved up. So you never want to quit your job until you have at least that like 6-month buffer. For me, like I'm a very cautious person. So like, I was at Double Diamond rank and my husband was still working. And then I stayed at Double Diamond for, I guess it was over a year before I retired him, because I wanted to see the stability in my business. I didn't want to make a irrational choice to leave instantly just because I got my first big paycheck, because you really need to be, steady, and this is your life. So I would say, not that it's not possible. I mean, hundreds of people are doing this full time and leaving your job, but build strong, build your team strong, build your paycheck strong, get a savings cushion, and then just have that talk with yourself too. Like, this business is different. It's not like a 9 to 5 where, we go in and somebody else tells us what to do. Like, are you committed to being your own boss? Like, waking up, like nobody calls me and says like, hey, Natalie, are you going to post? Like, hey, Natalie, like, are you feeling this today? Are you going to do your business? I mean, you have to be confident in your ability to like run that business like a machine and create that paycheck daily, because it's your business ultimately. Even if you have a team, it's still your business. So, I guess that's the best advice, is just to make sure you have that savings when you get to that rank. And, if you feel like your team is steady and strong and you've got it, then, that decision is up to you. And it's an amazing thing. It's so incredible to not have that. I worked part-time when I started this, and to let those strings go and not have that anymore, it was an amazing feeling.
Yeah, I like that you said that, you definitely have to have someone, I mean, not have some, but you have to have that mindset of, you're working for yourself, because that's very true. Like sometimes I'm like, But I'm like, okay, Antoinette, you know, you have to do this. You have to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely, she said, love that advice. Thank you so much. I can't wait to feel that. Yes, me too, Bree. I can't wait to see that too. So yeah, so I think that might be all that we have tonight. We don't want to keep you too long, and it's pretty much an hour that we've been on, so that's good timing. So thank you so much for coming and talking to us, and we truly enjoyed you. And what is your goal for next year, ambassador?
Oh my gosh. So I don't know. I have no idea. I need to start putting that to paper. And that's huge. I remember, was it my first conference I went to? The first year I didn't go because I was like beyond broke. And I was pregnant. That's what it was. I was super pregnant and broke. And then the second conference, I was double at. I had just gone or no, is that right? No, I hadn't just gone double, but I was double there. And I remember when they put those bonuses up and they were like, I had teammates there and they're looking at me like, you're going triple. And I'm like, no, okay, if you say so. But I was like, there's no way, like triple diamond. So, like you said, ambassador, I think that you have to dream big. You have to commit and put that goal down. So I have no idea. Definitely gonna shoot for presidential. So it's gonna be exciting. I know that Mark has like the most incredible things up his sleeve. So I can't even imagine what it's gonna be, but people are so excited. There's chatter already like swarming around about what's coming. So, and with the rest of the keto line, I don't know what's coming, but it's gonna be amazing.
Definitely. We're definitely excited and ready for what he has up his sleeve.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, since you said presidential, then we're going to cheer you on to Presidential Diamond.
Awesome.
And that's actually my goal for next year, too. Presidential Diamond. That is
Good.
my goal. I'm going to write it down, make it plain.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to be cheering you guys on, all of you. I mean, I have a feeling 2018 is going to be like knock our socks off and
Yes.
Amazing.
Me too. I feel it. I know it. I know it's coming.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you have a good night. We still need to get together since we're down
Yes.
the street.
I know. And it's so weird because normally when I'm on a Zoom, I'm talking to people that are like 500 or 1,000 miles away. And it's so weird that we're so close. So we definitely need to get together.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone have a great night. And I will have this recording if you want it to. And I'll send it to you.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Have a good night.